Ambassador Zixith of the Valerian Trade Council had witnessed many peculiar customs across the galaxy, but nothing had prepared him for dinner aboard the human vessel Perseverance. The insectoid diplomat's compound eyes tracked nervously as Captain Sarah Chen approached their table, carrying what appeared to be a massive platter. "Hope you don't mind, Ambassador," Chen said with casual warmth. "But tonight's special is Terran surf and surf, grilled mako shark steaks with king crab legs." Zixith's mandibles clicked in confusion. Through his translator he managed, "Captain, did you say shark, as in the apex predator of your oceanic ecosystems?" "That's right," Chen beamed, settling the platter down. Steam rose from the perfectly seared meat, carrying an aroma that somehow managed to be both foreign and appetizing to the ambassador's sensitive chemoreceptors. "Caught this beauty myself during shore leave on New Hawaii. 12-footer, put up quite a fight." The ambassador's thorax segments contracted in what his species considered polite horror. "You hunted an apex predator for recreation?" Chief Engineer Rodriguez, a burly man with grease-stained fingers, laughed as he cracked open a crab leg with disturbing efficiency. "Hunt? Nah, this was just fishing. You should see what we do when we actually hunt." Dr. Patel, the ship's xenobiologist, noticed Zixith's distress and attempted to provide context. "Ambassador, you must understand that humans have been consuming apex predators for millennia. Sharks, large cats, bears, crocodilians. If it was at the top of its food chain, we probably figured out how to make it taste good." "But why?" Zixith's translator barely managed to convey his bewilderment. "Your species achieved interstellar travel. Surely you have moved beyond such primitive necessities?" Captain Chen paused, a forkful of shark meat halfway to her mouth. "Primitive? I suppose from one perspective, yes. But look at it this way. Every other species we've encountered avoids their apex predators. The Kethari flee from the void serpents of their homeworld. The Crystalline Collective literally builds their cities to avoid the diamond bears of Refractia Prime. As is sensible," Zixith protested. "These creatures represent the pinnacle of evolutionary killing efficiency." "Exactly." Rodriguez grinned, juice from the crab leg running down his chin. "Which means they're incredibly well-muscled, perfectly adapted to their environment, and usually pretty tasty. Plus there's the challenge aspect." Dr. Patel leaned forward, her scientific enthusiasm evident. "What my colleagues are describing is actually a fundamental aspect of human psychology. We didn't become the apex predator on our world by avoiding the competition. We became it by making everything else afraid of us." "But surely," Zixith tried again, "with your replicator technology, there's no need to—" "Need?" Chen interrupted gently. "Ambassador, this isn't about need. This is about tradition, challenge, and honestly, the fact that wild-caught always tastes better than replicated." The Valerian diplomat watched in fascinated horror as the three humans systematically dismantled what should have been a terrifying predator with nothing but primitive metal tools and apparent enjoyment. His database contained extensive files on human dietary habits, but witnessing it firsthand was entirely different. "You know," Chief Rodriguez said thoughtfully, "back on Earth, my grandfather used to tell stories about his fishing trips. Said the bigger and meaner the fish, the better it tasted. Used to go after marlins that could have easily killed him if he fell overboard." "And that didn't deter him?" Zixith asked weakly. "Hell no, made it more exciting. There's something about knowing your dinner tried to kill you that makes it taste better." Dr. Patel nodded enthusiastically. "It's quite fascinating from an evolutionary perspective. Most species develop specialized diets, herbivores, specific predator-prey relationships, or very narrow ecological niches. Humans are unusual in that we actively seek out the most dangerous prey available. We're persistence hunters by nature," Captain Chen added, expertly filleting another piece of shark. "Our ancestors would literally chase megafauna until it collapsed from exhaustion, then make tools specifically designed to kill it. Cave paintings from 40,000 years ago show humans hunting woolly mammoths, cave bears, saber-toothed cats. Basically everything that should have been hunting us instead." Zixith's head spun. "Your species hunted creatures larger and more powerful than yourselves?" "Deliberately. Not just hunted," Rodriguez corrected. "We drove most of them extinct, then felt bad about it and made museums to remember how awesome they were. The irony," Dr. Patel continued, "is that by the time we developed agriculture and civilization, We'd already eliminated most of the really dangerous predators on our planet, so we had to get creative. Creative how? Zixith dreaded the answer. Well, Chen said, gesturing with her fork, we started farming some of them. Raised cattle that weighed 2 tons, domesticated wild boars, figured out aquaculture for sharks, developed hunting preserves for the really dangerous stuff. You domesticated your apex predators? The ones we could. The ones we couldn't? We made into sustainable fisheries or hunting experiences. Modern humans can book a vacation to go cage diving with great whites, or fly to preserve worlds to hunt recreationally managed populations of restored extinct megafauna. Rodriguez chuckled. My wife went to Pleistocene Park last year, bagged a woolly rhino, brought back enough steaks to feed the neighborhood for a month. The ambassador's exoskeleton actually creaked as he processed this information. You brought back your extinct apex predators to hunt them again? For sport, for food, and for conservation, Dr. Patel confirmed. Turns out the best way to preserve a species is to make it useful to humans. We've got more dangerous predators now than we did 1,000 years ago. And better recipes, too. Captain Chen noticed that Zixith hadn't touched the specially prepared kelp salad they'd provided for his dietary needs. Ambassador, you seem disturbed. Is everything all right? I'm beginning to understand, Zixith said slowly, why the Galactic Council classified humanity as a protected species when you first achieved interstellar flight. Protected? Rodriguez laughed. We always wondered about that designation. It wasn't to protect you, the ambassador admitted. It was to protect everyone else. The Council has been quietly ensuring that your species remains well-fed and content. The last thing the galaxy needs is humans getting bored and looking for new apex predators to domesticate. Uncomfortable silence fell over the dinner table as the humans exchanged glances. Well, Captain Chen said finally, cutting another piece of shark. Good thing the universe is big enough for everyone, right? Zixith's compound eyes fixed on the casual efficiency with which she wielded her knife, and he made a mental note to recommend increased food shipments to all human colonies. Some predators, he realized, were best kept well-fed.